Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Cheating with Art. Before we get to the Week 3 leaderboard standings, sadly, once again, it seems like some folks can't resist cheating, and it's really starting to piss me off. So I am not, as I have always said, I am not going to ever call them out by name, but I am going to call them out by method, okay? So that way you guys are aware and you understand why I am justified in throwing them out from the tournament, okay? So here's the first little trick that folks are up to. And this actually started back in January. And I call it the I was craving a melon method. Because, my goodness, if you just interpose the L and the M, you get the solution, okay? Now, this particular person did sign the agreement and seemed to be behaving pretty well during the February tournament, and now seems to be back up to their old tricks for March, and it's really starting to piss me off. So I'm extremely upset, guys, to think that, first I thought, it's going to be fun. People are just going to, want to do their best, play honestly. But no, we know perfectly well who the cheaters were in the first month. We remember certain people had a propensity for coming up with a string of twos, 7 twos all at once in a row, right? So yeah, then I had to invoke the agreement, which I thought would, make people play a little bit more honestly, a little bit more seriously, and it doesn't seem like that even matters as well. So now let's move on to cheating method number 2. And that one is called the sudden switch. So check it out. This person had pretty much consistently been using Louis. And as you can see on the left, they went Louis vomit toxic. Okay, that's fine. That passes the sniff test as far as I'm concerned. Then we have the second example, Louis Ryder cider. I would say that barely passes the sniff test. I think that's a pretty amazing guess to go with Ryder. All right, be that as it may. But guess what, guys? It's sudden switch time. It's sudden switch time because we're starting to sense that maybe Art got a couple twos using his algorithm, which is perfectly fair if you read the tournament agreement rules. Or the person just seems like they are falling out of contention, so we got to catch up. And my goodness, we're just going to come up with Prude, right? Why not? Because after Prude, you can more or less go straight to Duvet, all right, and get it into. And that's a huge opportunity to make up a lot of ground over people because Duvet, as you guys recall, was pretty tough. In fact, there were very few threes. It was mostly fours. Even I got a 5 on that one. So that's a 3-step advantage that you can gain by doing the sudden switch. All right, now let's go to the third method. And this one is, I would say, the most subtle of the 3. And this is called, hey, let's follow Squirtle, but only when it's convenient to follow Squirtle. All right, so check this out, guys. Very clever. We start with Slate, okay? So this person does consistently start with Slate to their credit. They don't switch out. Now, Squirtle, when you get a yellow L and a yellow E, as you can see in the first Wordle box on the left, recommends level, okay? And I've done that countless times. You guys might even remember. In fact, my algorithm says to actually still stick with level. But if you had gone with level, then you probably would have gotten a 3 and gone to revel. Okay, you could have still actually done bevel and got it in 4. But let's ditch Squirtle's suggestion, right? Because after all, you repeat the L. So now we can go straight to revel and get a solid 2. All right, now let's look at the next example. This is actually from yesterday's. We have Slate, Stand, Stage. So they got it in 3. However, after Slate, with that particular setup, Squirtle recommends to go with Start. However, this person said, screw it. We don't need to listen to Squirtle. We can do it on our own terms because if we go with Stand instead, there's only one possibility, and that is Stayed. Whereas if you had gone with Start, I think if I remember correctly, I found at least 10 possibilities, okay? Of course, there would be there would be Stash, there would be Stark, there would be a whole bunch of them, okay? But yeah, how convenient. And now, guys, we will listen to Squirtle because when we go with Slate and we have a yellow T and a yellow E, it recommends Tenet. And yes, we're going to stick to Tenet. You know why? Because we can't possibly come up with a better second guess to get us to Duvet any quicker. All right? So these are the tricks that folks are up to. And I'm just going to be really honest, guys. I'm pretty much close to closing the tournament. I really am. I know that the outstanding majority of you are playing fairly, and I really appreciate it. I'm referring, of course. Now, these people I will call out by name because I trust them 1,000,000,000%. We're talking about the Ellen Sasanis of the world, the Dora A's, who, by the way, may have decided to play just for fun, maybe because of the fact that there were, cheaters that are impossible to keep up with. Nevertheless, she's a perfectly honest player. The two Georges, we've got George from up north in Canada, and we've got George Clark, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the U.S. Those guys I trust 1,000,000,000%. We've got Dan and Seb, 1,000,000,000%. Now, I'm going to be honest, Bobo and Tornado the Trickster, you might argue, oh, but Art, look at them. They've got incredibly high averages as well. Technically low averages, right? Because when we play Squirtle, the lower the better. And it's true, they are. And you'll see that in the leaderboard very shortly. However, as you know, I test them almost, I've done it at least 3 or 4 times after some tricky words. And, they're fine. They're clean. They consistently do Soar Clint or Parse Clint. And there's nothing afoul in the way they're playing. They're consistent and they're going with their starter words. And yeah, they're pretty damn good. In fact, I did an analysis on them. And believe it or not, Soar Clint, I believe, as of now, is the absolute best starter pair that you can come up with. And Parse Clint, I think, is either second or third. So yeah, through whatever methods they figured that out, good for them. But as far as I'm concerned, they're playing by the rules. So there you have it, guys. I'm pretty sure that March will be the end of the tournaments. I don't like to put together finale videos that take me 30 hours when I'm honoring cheaters. And by the way, the 2 people that are going to get thrown out, and there might be a couple more, but the 2 people for sure that are going to get thrown out from the tournament as of today, they were in the top 10 from last month. And it really pisses me off that I'm putting time towards those folks when it could have gone towards the honest players who actually should have displaced these 2 cheaters. All right. So let this be a warning, guys. We are going to obviously continue the March tournament. I'm not going to, suddenly suspend it. We are going to continue it. But be on the lookout, okay? I'm not an idiot, all right? I'm not an idiot. These little cheat tricks of yours can be easily detected. And on top of that, I run entire simulations across the entire week and sometimes the entire month, and I can tell when there's a statistical aberration. So basically, don't fuck with me, all right? Sorry, guys, but I'm really starting to get pissed off with this cheating. It really irritates me to no end, and it's extremely stressful. I have to waste my time putting together these little slides to put together exhibit A, B, and C of how you guys are cheating. So knock it off and play fair, okay? I've said this time and time again. This is not Survivor. There's no $1 million prize. And nobody's going to think badly of you if you had a bad day. I've had plenty of them, okay? And nobody's going to think you're a genius if you got it in 1, 2, or 3. So just play fair, all right? All right, guys. Now, with that in mind, we're going to transition over to the leaderboard. I think my mood will improve a little bit because this is hopefully honoring the 99% honest, legitimate player. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, guys, we're back. Let's check out the leaderboard and let's see who is leading for week 3. And we only have basically about 1 week to go because we already, I think, are about 1 or 2 days worth into the final week. All right. So I set the spreadsheet up slightly differently this time. Hopefully you guys like it. It's going to be easier to catch those folks who are missing their results where we have a nasty red 7. We don't want those, do we, guys? And so I have basically made it easy for you guys to keep track where you're missing that result. So I have the player, all 7 words from week 3, the total and the average repeated several times. All right. So here we go. And I'm not going to mention the 7s at all. They're pretty visible. You guys know what you need to do. Simply go to the word where you have that red 7. And please just post the results in this video. Do not go back to a previous one at this point. That's going to be ridiculous. Just put it in here, and I'll be sure to update the spreadsheet, and you guys will be in great standing. So here we go. Odie Dog has exactly 5, and sadly that is because of 5 red 7s, okay? So try to get those to me, Odie Dog, and I think you'll be doing much better. Cynthia May, same thing for you. you'll be doing much better if you get me those 7s. All right. And then we have Brandon Baker. Brandon, great job. All your results are in. You have a 4.62 average. I think a good goal at this point might be to try to bring it, below 4.5. I think that'd be perfectly realistic. Geraldo Adcock, Agent of Chaos, Mario Rascone are all in there with up to 4.43. Then we have a nice chunk of 4.29s that belongs to Cheryl Fessenden, LNG, and Shazana Mir. Moving down, we have Lois Mignot, Connor Clark, Mata Muertes, Raymond C. Manning II, Georges Thibodeau, Wendy Jarvis, Mehal Sakaria, and the Bonehead 1997. You guys are ever so close to a 4.0 average. That's exactly the goal I would offer you to finish off the week and to have a good placing on the March finale video. All right, our good friend Alistair Gorman is tied up with Lakia Trippert and Linda 1541. Great job, guys, with a 4.05. Obviously, the goal is to try to get below. I think that would be fantastic. All right, moving down, we have the chunk of folks who are definitely jockeying for a top 10 place, and they're very close. As you can see, top 10 in the gray there is at a 3.67. So who do we have in this little section here? We've got Joe, we've got Dental Pharynx, Minecraft, Zachman, Josh Hodkinson, Crispy P, Kyle B18, Stacy P, Trigonzo Bob, Dan and Seb, Johnsky, Melvin TNH 327, Raider 92, Marilyn Guest, Robert House, Steve Hazelrig, Alexandra Fiersa, and finally Michelle Lim. And look at that. All of you guys are almost completely clear of the 7s. I'll just say it once, Michelle, get me that result, and I bet you're going to find yourself in the top 10 very quickly. All right. Speaking of which, guys, here comes the top 10. In 10th place, we have Ald Fouter and PJ Stitcher. Congratulations, guys. Keep it up and try to stay there, maybe even boost it up another point or two. All right. And now I have the player results typed in again, so that way it makes it easier for you guys to find, how you did on each particular word. Although, as I have said before, these guys are in it to win it. And notice there's no red 7, so I never miss any results from them. All right, here we go. 9th place has Ascension, Diamond Ender Pearl 0135, MGL, and Aranya 0428. So actually, Aranya, those 7s of yours are red. I just forgot to keep them in red because I wanted to highlight this in white so it stands out better. So just be aware of that. I think that's the only time that comes up. So, and I know that'll definitely improve your placing, and you're an extremely strong competitor. Okay. So next comes the 8th place group. That belongs to Ben B, Dr. Dan 3, George Clark, and Jamie. Congratulations, guys. 3.57 is fantastic. We have a very narrow margin here with Ellen Sassani and Salad Von Baco, both in the 7th place group. Congratulations, guys. That's fantastic. Now we've got the 6th place with a 3.48 average. That belongs to App Guy, Braden Slays 43, Burnt, Natrium, and Viking 67. Great job, guys. Viking stands out as a player who has also made tremendous improvement. I remember she didn't quite make the top 10, I believe, for February, and now look at her. She's in 6th place. Great job, Viking. All right, next up, we have 5th place, and that is our good friend Martin Steed, probably one of the best and most consistent players in the tournaments. Miss Galt's Mapper, and Zep Girl 5. Congratulations, guys. Moving up, Tornado the Trickster. There he is in yellow at the bottom of the screen with a 3.38. Look at those amazing scores. And now we come to our 3rd place group, and that belongs to Gil Earl, our good friend from Down Under. And yes, me, rise to the equation. I think that it'll go up a little bit because I didn't have the best results recently with a 4 on Stade and a 5 on Duvet. But I don't think that they were terrible relative to the top competitors. So we'll see. Okay, we'll see. It'll be very interesting. All right, and look at what we've got. I'll just reveal the rest so that we have it all here on the screen. And yes, our good friend Bobo 0616 is still doing amazing, but he is in 2nd place now with a 3.24, and Jake Nadell has overtaken him and is currently in 1st place with a 3.19. So congratulations, all of you. You're doing amazing. So what can I say except I wish you all the best for the final week. Do your absolute best. But please, guys, I just hate to have to keep harping over this, especially after the long intro on the cheating. Do not cheat, okay? Do not frickin' cheat. If you need to, please go back to the very first day of the March Wordle Tournament and reread the rules to refresh yourself on what things are allowed and what things are not, okay? It should be pretty obvious. And I am going to be checking you guys thoroughly, particularly those people that are in the top 10. So don't think that just because, you're all set right now, you never know. If you don't see your name appear in the finale video, you know why. It's because you're doing one of the cheating methods that I just explained earlier or something else, okay? It's just like anything in life, right? We can figure out some very clever ways to do great things, and sadly, we can figure out some very clever ways to do some very bad things. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Looking forward to putting out today's Wordle a little bit later, so we'll see how that goes. And of course, give me any of the missing results that you see here with a red 7 so that we can update your standings. It'll most definitely improve them. And yeah, hopefully it was easier to follow today's leaderboard because you were able to keep track of exactly which results you were missing. All right, guys. Well, with that in mind, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon for yet another edition of Wordle with Art.